Dallas.
It is, yeah.
Okay.
It's about 4 hours or so away from Houston.
Okay.
Okay, in Dallas. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you all still get clients coming from the Houston area too, because I know that a lot of Liberians also reside in Houston,
Yes, we do get some people who come down from Houston to when it was open, who came to visit the place as well. Yes.
and you attract a lot of celebrities within the Liberian entertainment and sports um, arena. I have been observing you all,
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
which is a very good thing.
It is. There's a lot of Liberians who who will fly down into Dallas and either heard about us through Facebook or some type of social media setting, or just word of mouth, and so they will come down to Dallas and try
Ooh,
to
open it down real quick. I got in the office.
find us
I
and
gotta
come and visit the place.
Okay.
That's good. So Joe, have we started tipping or not?
I started tipping already.
Okay, so briefly, we would love for you all to just tell us, what led you to become entrepreneurs, and what motivates you every day to get up and do the things that you have been doing that have you successful despite what just happened in terms of the devastation you all suffered.
Yeah.
COVID 19.
For,
No, besides COVID-19, remember the terrible
the
weather
Texas
condition they
snowstorm.
had, the ice storm, Joe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was in Dallas, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. So we'll start with princess, ladies before gentlemen. So
Um.
please.
And
Well, I
Professor,
went to a
you
culinary
also want to
school.
tell us the name of your business so the people
Yeah.
out there can know.
Yes.
The name of the business is Monrovia Lounge. We're
Mhm.
registered Monrovia Lounge LLC. We're
Okay.
located in North Dallas, off of off of 635, Highway 635 in Dallas. Um, we're on the second floor, Suite 227. If anybody's trying to visit, our Google has all the explanation. You can go on our Google and find any information you want. You can message us, and it will come to me directly, and I will answer. We have a history of answering within the minute that you send your messages. Um, I went to culinary school about 11 years ago, and my specialty was French cuisine.
Hmm.
I decided after working with a lot of chefs here in Dallas that were like into fine dining. I wanted to plate Liberian food differently. I wanted to make it to where it's much more presentable than we usually have it, because we have Liberian food is really, really, really delicious. I might sound biased, but we have the best food in on the entire continent. So the next thing there now is to present it into a way that everybody can see and say, "Oh wow, I want that." I want that food. And so after working in fine dining for a while, I decided that's what I wanted to do. I don't want to serve French cuisine, Southern cuisine, whatever cuisine they have. I wanted to serve Liberian cuisine, but my specialty it began with Cajun Creole, because of the historical attachment with the Southerners of America to Liberia when they transitioned to Liberia. So that's what I wanted to tie in. So the spices, when you try other cuisines that are not Liberian cuisines on our menu, it does taste like something from Louisiana, but have a kick with a Liberian flair to it. So that's what I wanted to do. And I didn't want to work for people anymore. I wanted to do something where Liberians can come together and just have fun and be ourselves. And that was the number one goal. And whenever I have a crazy idea, I have a partner that is always supportive. And so Femi steps in and goes, "Let's make this happen." And I found the place. We renovated the place. Everything was done out of pocket because at the time, We wasn't privy to getting loans and all that extra stuff. So we just did everything out of pocket. And then we figure later on in the time when the business mature, we'll start exploring the loan options and stuff like that, because those things can be a lot of pressure when you're just starting a business. So we
Yeah.
did that, and later on, actually we opened, official open was December 3rd. And right after that, COVID happened in March, and then we were just stuck with to go orders only. Nobody could come and dine in like they wanted to. So that kind of takes away our experience, because the whole experience was we wanted people to come in, learn the history.
Yeah.
We have Dr. Borrow's history book that we were selling, and then we have murals done of, you know, African arts and everything. So you were supposed to come in, listen to the music. We play mostly Liberian music. 90% of our music is Liberian, hip hop, Liberian, anything. So then we, put it in with Afro beats and everything else. So that was the entire experience we wanted to give you and educate you about the pambara that was on your plate, the cassava that was on your plate, the palava sauce, everything. And so we wasn't getting that. We're just giving people food without the information that we usually attach to that. So that was kind of hard for us. Then right when we started to pick up, the media got to know us, and our local media got to know us, and we're on the news, and all of a sudden the Texas storm happens, and so we get completely shut down because our place is completely flooded. And
Mm.
so now we're renovating, and we will be open the 29th. But to your question, what motivated us to do this is because in the 20 something years that I've been in Dallas, I came in Dallas in 1993 as a 13-year-old, and I joined the military. I came back out of the military, and I still hadn't seen anything solid like a Liberian restaurant. And so when I went to culinary school, that was my main goal, to represent Liberia at all time. Because talking to me, people be like, "Oh, well, you don't sound Liberian enough," or "How are you gonna cook Liberian food and you don't act Liberian enough?" Whatever that is, I don't know what they're talking about. But I have a mother that is Kra. I have a father that's Kru, and I was born in Zwedru of Grangeda County. I am very aware of my history and my lineage. I can tell you what street I grew on in Grangeda, and I can tell you where I went in Monrovia. I'm not oblivious to the fact, or I call it selective oblivion, because people like to feel like, oh well, if you say you don't remember something, then of course where you are is then you are part of it. I haven't assimilated not one bit. I maybe by environmental circumstances I've assimilated, but mentally I have not. Everything I do, I keep Liberia represented. And so our main goal is to always represent Liberia in a positive light. And our food is one of the best way to do that, because unlike your brother Femi, I don't have patience for Liberian politics.
I observe that, and I don't blame you. It can be time consuming and a lot of negativity.
Too much.
You are what I call forward thinkers.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, that's why I said to Drew, we got to have them on. I'm looking for the best of the best.
Thank
Thank you.
you very
Thank you.
much. I'm
Now
glad you
that
have us on.
It's
one
my
thing,
pleasure.
one
So,
thing you're doing,
Femi, oh, I'm sorry, Joe. Go ahead.
one thing you do, you guys are doing that I like is this whole concept of storytelling.
Hmm.
That you don't only sell Liberian food, but you tell the Liberian story.
Yes.
And Liberian delicacies is something that they all got stories about it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Because there's one country in Africa where the food, the influences are just from all over, from the
Yes.
American South to the Caribbean to other African countries. We just pull all that and it's reflected in what we eat.
Yes.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, because if you go down south, you see jambalaya. What do you think about? What comes in your mind?
Full of rice.
Yeah,
All
Exactly.
right.
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Then they got the okra, they call it. but they didn't
It's
speak
Yeah.
their
gumbo.
food like
It's the
us.
gumbo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the gumbo.
Yeah.
That's what they call it.
Hmm.
Then
Yeah.
that's another thing again we got in Liberia that they like down there. I forgot the name of it, but
There's
uh,
so many food that links to Louisiana cooking that I
exactly
actually tell people about. Yeah, I've actually told people a lot of different things that
collard
compare to
greens.
Liberian
It's
food.
collard greens I was thinking
Yeah.
about. They do their collard greens.
Yeah.
We got. I
Hmm.
think we're the only African country that got collard greens.
I
Mm-hmm.
believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know
Hmm.
of any
Or
other.
at least
I
cook it the way
believe we
we
have
cook it.
tasted African
Hmm.
food from Kenya, North Africa, all over West Africa. I tasted the food,
Yeah.
and like
And
Princess said, we've got the best. But what
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
doing, there's a young man in California. He's got a restaurant there, and he does it just what you guys doing.
Yeah.
Kenya.
You enter his restaurant. It's almost like a Liberian mural telling the history of Liberia.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And
called
then
Kenya. I think you call it Kenya, and he's like his
Canada,
name is Doug also or something like that.
Douglas used to Dama
Yes.
let's talk the
Yeah.
hourly picking his dad and I we pretty much grew up. But yes,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it's what he had. But just like you saying it,
Hmm.
people get in there to see the map of Liberia, and he tells a story.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You're doing it the perfect way, and of course, the food he sells, he has it in a way that it caters to the taste of not only Liberians but foreigners will come there. He go and pepper you, like
Right.
when you go to where that mommy pepper, and
Right.
you got a moderate way, but and like what happened to you? It was on TV, you
mm-hmm.
know, in the newspaper. Yelp gave him 100%, which is sort of rare for restaurants.
Right.
But let me not take
Hmm.
the story away from
Yeah.
Chris. Go ahead, Chris. You had some questions.
Yeah. I just want to interject quickly and say something that Princess said that really caught my attention when she said that whenever she has an idea, she confides in Femi, and Femi would say to her, "Let's do it." I love that. That's what you call teamwork,
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
and that's the only way you can be successful.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, so let me not say more. I will allow Femi now to go ahead and see what he has to say.
Yes, sir. Yeah, just to piggyback off what Princess said, that's like I said, especially with the restaurant idea. Um, like her, I've been in America since well in Dallas specifically since 1992. I came to the States. So growing up here in Dallas, of course, most of the African restaurants were either most of them were Nigerians, Ethiopian. Um, that's about it. There was back in the days in the 90s. There was one Liberian restaurant I was here. One of the ladies she had to move away, so it ended up closing down. So since then, there had not been a strong Liberian restaurant in the city as we have it now. There have been people who does stuff from their kitchen, little stuff here and there, but nothing on a major scale. So when she came with the idea, that we was going to do the restaurant thing after she went to school, of course, I thought it was a brilliant idea. That's something we needed. As someone who had been here as a African in general, especially a Liberian, I thought it would be something that would make us as Liberians proud and as Africans for that matter, because that's we represent Africa overall.
Right.
Even though we do push Liberia, but it's an African thing as well. And so yeah, so when the idea came up, we ran with it. Everybody loved the place. Is the place is very huge. People come there. They love to come sit, eat, drink, lecture, talk politics, talk Liberia, talk Africa, stuff like that. We have a nightlife as well. So we have people come there at night. They do hookah, drink, and just have a good time. Everybody loved the place. Um, we have our the guy, one of our Liberian DJ. He's from Michigan. VDJ Water, and he comes down here regularly, and he comes and he DJ for us
At his
most
own
of the time.
extent. Yes.
Yeah, at his own
Oh,
expense.
Wow.
Yeah, just to support
That
us.
is wonderful.
Yeah, and he does it regularly. He would come down and he's one of the big Liberian DJs too. He goes around the country, DJs, but he usually come down whenever we need him. He is coming down on May 29 to DJ for the reopening. So yeah, he usually come down and DJ for us, and people like when he's in town because he's a real good DJ. So he gets everybody going. But yeah, but so to the restaurant, like I said, it's been a rewarding experience. Like I say, just us representing Liberia overall is the greatest experience of all. That has been one of the best thing about the thing. Like a lot of times our Nigerians will come into the place and they will see it and they would think it's a Nigerian place, because I guess they're not used to Liberians owning things. So they will come, they'll be like, who owned the place? And I'll be like, oh, it's me and my girlfriend. And they'll be like, oh, what is your name? And I said, my name is Femi. They be like, you're Nigerian. I'll be like, no, I'm Liberian, 100%, but they want to make this place a Nigerian place because they don't think Liberians supposed to own things, because
but
that's how it's been.
Well, let
yeah,
me say
but,
something
but,
about that too.
but
Mm.
Femi
So,
is Femi is a Yoruba name.
It is. It
Yeah,
is.
Oba Femi. You
Yes.
know,
Yes.
because I've got
Yes.
a friend named Femi. He's a Liberian to a
Yes.
Femi.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead,
yeah,
princess.
the thing is that they want me to put Nigerian food on my menu. Now, the thing is, I've before even opening the restaurant, I've approached Kenyans and different people about putting Liberian food on their menu.
Mhm.
And I was shunned, but like they were like, okay, well, we can do on a trial basis where we can serve Liberian food on a certain day, and then we will just serve our regular food. I'm like, well, no, put it on the menu because I see that the majority of your customers are Liberians, so they will want the food. So I've had battles with them about that. Now, I open a restaurant and you want me to put Nigerian food and igusi and everything on there. The answer is no. Even Femi was kind of like wary about that. He was like, well, let's just put a couple of things on the menu. I said no, because the idea is to have something purely Liberian. For the first time, it have to be purely Liberian. We can't always, join with other people to make something successful. This Liberian restaurant will be successful on the pure sense of it being Liberian food. I will not add igusi. I will not add whatever else there is around the world on there. It will be if I have to add something, it will be more Liberian dishes. It will not be Nigerian food. And I've talked to them about it. Oh, chef, I think you need to add this and that. No, no, it's not gonna happen. Enjoy Liberian food, come for the Liberian experience, just like I go and to the Nigerian place and enjoy the Nigerian experience. Because I've promoted for almost all the clubs around here. When I was in my 20s, I
Hmm.
promoted for the Jamaicans and the Caribbean people for a very long time. I pushed their culture. So at this point, you would think they'll want to support me because I'm very well known amongst them. So they should know. But it turns into, oh, well, it's a Liberian, it will not be successful because you're not organized and blah, blah, blah. And they want to be around us anyways. Okay, well, we will watch and see. Everything takes time. It's a challenge that I'm willing to accept, but I'm not adding Nigerian anything or any other country food on that particular menu. That is a no.
Good.
But
Yeah.
Princess, my
Yes.
question for you is that when you get into the business you're about making profit, right? Making
Oh,
money,
correct. Yes.
scaling the business.
Mm-hmm.
What about, say, if you have a set aside in a week, say Africa Day? Say this,
Mm-hmm.
let's say it's Africa Day. Well, we'll have Igusi, we'll have uh, the Senegalese. You look at the demographic of Africans in your area.
Mm-hmm.
The Nigerians, I think they're the largest, right,
Yes.
in
Yes.
terms of population.
And okay, the
So with
the
that,
thing
you
is
make more
that
money that way.
they're the
It's not
largest.
you're not taking anything from the fact that it's a Liberian restaurant, but you just
Mm-hmm.
said one day in a week, say, okay, this is AU, this is the AU menu for this Wednesday, and you will be amazed how many people will come and buy.
Yeah,
When you
I've
look
I've
at,
really thought about that. Yeah,
uh-huh,
I've really thought about that. But we have two Nigerian restaurants that are competing with us right below us. And so we have a Nigerian restaurant that's right below in the same shopping center. We're upstairs, they're downstairs.
Uh-huh.
And the reason why we get most of the customer is because we're not serving the same food. We have been able to manage to steal majority of the customers. I had a Nigerian men's group that comes just for my goat meat soup because my goat meat soup don't look like dirty water. So because it's so, yes, so there's so much in it that they come there and have their meetings there just for the goat meat soup. I sell so much when it comes to the goat meat soup. It's not because that I don't want to make profit.
Mhm.
It's just I want to stick with the concept that I started with. Maybe down the line, I might have like something that will involve everybody presenting their food at the restaurant where it's a competition, and then do like a African festival or something, because I've looked into that part. So a festival will bring out different African cuisine. I like Sierra Leonean food. Femi never tried. He doesn't like anybody
Bitter
cooking for
leaf.
Liberian food. Yeah.
Bitter leaf.
So yeah, so so I want to invite all that in the future. But right
Mhm.
now, we're so silenced. We're always silenced. Like Liberian food is always silenced. If I put any Nigerian food on my menu, it becomes the thing to get. And so then we get back on the back page of everything else. So
Right.
the idea is to popularize Liberian food, then look into adding something or some event that will bring in other people's cuisine.
Yes. Joe, may I interject? There are two words that comes to mind when I hear Princess describe her concert. They found a niche, Joe. And besides finding a niche, they have created a specialty.
Mhm.
And so I think it is a good idea to stick to this concept for now,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
because you already said it is a competitive environment.
It is. Yes.
And your menu has been attracting a lot of people, regardless of the fact that you do not want to just cater to the Nigerians because
Mm-hmm.
they are being persistent.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Furthermore, Joe, another thing that came to mind when both Femi and Princess said to me that the Nigerians were surprised that their restaurant is owned by Liberians.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, Joe, when we came up with this idea, you shared with me, you said, Chris, someone reached out to you and said, oh, Liberians don't want to do any business. They just want to talk politics. Remember that, Joe?
Yeah.
Remember? Okay. So now they are out there in Dallas saying to the Nigerians and others, no, Liberians are also business minded.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We are having just focused on politics.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying, but I was looking at it from an entrepreneurial point of view.
Yes.
Right.
The scalability of their business.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Although they got a niche, that's fine, but sometimes you gotta get out of that niche by scaling.
Yeah.
You get bigger, the more you become,
Mm-hmm.
you embrace the community, the African community, the more money you make.
Right.
Because you do business to make money.
Right.
Yes.
Now, it's not about any sort of emotional that you got.
Mhm.
You're there for this emotional. Well, you probably have this emotional title like Liberia, but
Right.
even though you have it, but you want to also make money in the process.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Oh
So
no, yeah.
I was
And
looking
then,
at it from the scalability aspect of it,
mhm,
that you can be all embracive,
yeah.
bring the
Mm-hmm.
community in,
yes.
Yeah.
and make money in the process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
So
and that's a good point, Joe, because
So basically, what they
I,
will be doing, they will be, and they're already ambassadors and evangelists
yes.
of Liberian cuisine. That's what
yeah.
they are.
Yeah.
From listening to Princess, listening to Femi, that's what they are.
Mhm.
So what evangelists do, they're almost like missionaries. They want to convert, right?
Exactly so. Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Bring them
So
over.
so that's a
So
good idea because there aren't any other customers who are doing what you are suggesting to
Mm-hmm.
them to
Yeah.
have an African day set aside. So
Mm-hmm.
that's a very good idea to consider.
yeah.
Yeah. It's a festival we want to do. We're looking
Okay.
into it, getting all the different chefs from different part of Africa together and doing a festival so they can present the food, and then the community get to taste everything. So they have like a taste of Africa here, but we want to
Wonderful.
change that because the taste of Africa never, that's another thing. They never include authentic Liberian food. It's
Right.
always
Okay.
Sierra Leonean presenting Liberian food or Nigerian presenting food. It's never a Liberian presenting Liberian food. It's like they don't know Liberians. And that's the frustrating part about it, because if you actually reach out to us, we're very patriotic people. We'll represent Liberia in a heartbeat. So we will tell you, hey, this is how you call Liberian food. Let me bring the Liberian food. But I've had Liberians go Liberian festival. I mean, to the African festival here in Texas or Dallas, and they'll be like, "That was terrible. I don't know who made that, but it needs to stop." And you can easily reach out to different people, but it's because it's ran by a certain group in Africa. They don't want us to even step our foot and become successful in that aspect. So if I'm doing this and I say, okay, well, I'm gonna find somebody that can cook Nigerian food, somebody that cook Liberian food and make it authentic and actually present it as is, instead of me cooking it and spin on it, because that's what's gonna happen. That food is tasteless.
So,
And
so
so
you can serve check rice and gravy.
I'm actually looking into serving check rice and gravy. A lot of
Well,
my
well,
Yeah,
actually,
you
we do
admit the
serve it.
American people love that.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I had
they
my
love a
friend.
lot of the mixed food. They do, yes.
Yeah, I
yeah,
had
but
some
actually,
American friends come to one of our Liberian parties, and when this lady got home, she told me, "Joe, that thing, how you call it, the one with the rice wrapped up in
The
beans and
slippery rice.
stuff, check rice." And she said, "I love it. Can your wife show me how to cook it?"
yeah.
So she
So,
kept
so
going. She
usually,
and her friends, they kept going to it. They
yeah,
kept
Yeah.
getting people.
usually with the check rice, we don't have it on our menu. But
Uh-huh.
We'll do
whenever
the
we have
buffet.
events, we usually have
Mhm.
it on our buffet. So,
Hmm.
like usually when we have events, we have different type of food on the buffet table. So
Yeah,
usually chuck rice is on our buffet, but it's not on the menu itself.
Right,
yeah.
right. But I'm sure you got palm butter and all that.
Yeah,
It's
palm
all
butter, cassava leaf. Yeah,
Now,
potato greens too.
Joe, I have seen the interior decor of the place. I mean, the ambience,
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the appearance alone, okay, will get someone to spend a lot of money.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
I know I would.
That's
Okay.
great.
Yes.
When,
So
when I go
I'm
up
so
to Dallas,
impressed
I'll
with
look
you
it
all.
up. I've got a client in a place called Plano, Texas.
Yeah, that's
Plano,
not
yeah,
far.
that's about 30 minutes from
Yeah,
us. Yes.
yeah, and they tell me that it's pretty close to
Yeah,
Dallas.
Yeah.
In fact, that's how
Hmm.
they always explain. Well, you go to Dallas, it's about, I don't know, 30 minutes, 45 minutes.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, I used to live in Plano. Yes.
okay.
Yes.
So do you all do any delivery right now, or you done?
Yes, we
We
do delivery through Grubhub.
Oh, good. Very good.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So you all have your own app. You created your own app or what?
well
Okay,
we use
so
the Grubhub app.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
So we try to do DoorDash and Uber Eats, but because of the COVID pandemic thing, they
Mm-hmm.
couldn't get somebody to come down with us and install everything like Grubhub did.
Mm.
Okay.
So they're gonna get back with us, and we're trying to add Postmates, Grubhub, and I'm not Grubhub, DoorDash and Uber Eats to our delivery
delivery
system.
service.
Okay, good.
I'm pretty impressed with your strategy. But one question I have, um, the restaurant business is an intensely competitive business.
Hmm.
I
Yes.
think there's some data that out there that 70% of the people that go into it,
Crash.
they fail. Like you said, they crash.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But Princess seems to be somebody with ideas. Tell me the same thing.
Yeah.
Most of the people that go into it and crash, they have not done their homework from what I'm getting from you guys, as well as you all have. Because
Right.
this whole thing is about ideas, 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 and no idea crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe,
Yeah.
what you call it? SWAT? SWOT.
Oh, the SWOT analysis, strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats. But
SWOT.
I'm
Yes.
sure Princess and Femi did that already. Talk to them, I can
SWOT.
tell they've done that.
Hmm.
They've done that due diligence before going into that. And
Yes.
guess the fact you said under where you operate, right under you is another restaurant, right?
It's a Nigerian restaurant.
Actually,
Yes.
there was
Okay.
two restaurants. There was a Peruvian restaurant and
Mm,
a Nigerian restaurant. The Peruvian restaurant got destroyed during the Texas snowstorm.
okay.
And when I went in there, it was like the entire roof fell into the restaurant. So it
Wow.
was beyond, like, I don't think they even wanted to even invest in fixing that because the landlord doesn't help you. The landlord
Right.
collects the insurance, but it don't help you fix it. Everything is out of pocket. And
Okay.
so your insurance only take care of your interior, what you occupy. They don't take care of building damages. And so that becomes a problem of its own. And so a lot of people don't have the sense enough to ask, the Small Business Administration for different types of help or FEMA and stuff like that. So they
Uh-huh.
just give up because of the runaround. Those people gave you the runaround. If you want
Right.
paperwork in America here, try business. I've never read so much in my life. And so that's one of the things. The Nigerian restaurant, they serve Nigerian food, but we were in business for at least like under 4 months, and we had 5 stars. They've been in
Wow.
business for, I say, about three or
A
four
long,
years. No,
no,
how
long
long have
time.
we been there? Oh my
Uh,
God, yeah.
yeah, it's
Since
all right.
2000, yeah, since 2000. So they've been there for over 20 something years.
Wow.
So yeah, so the thing is that because I remember I was young and I used to promote for them at one point. So that's why I'm like, okay, that's actually longer because I'm old. So the so the thing is that what they're lacking is where we're thriving. Customer
Mhm.
service is one of the things. You have
Absolutely.
to
There
you
you
have to
go.
res- you have to respect your customers. You have to make them feel welcome. You have to cater to them. And a lot of us feel like we're so prideful that we don't feel like we're inviting people. We have to frown our face when somebody walk in. We have the
Right.
attitude. If they ask us for something more than twice, then we want to just snap. No, what we teach the
Yeah.
customers is to keep being patient with these people because they're spending money. They came to your establishment. You have to make them feel at home. And so customer service is one of the stuff that is really lacking. Another thing is like, you got to check supply and demand. And on your menu, you got to figure out which things are buying more and learn to let go of other things so you don't lose your money on just completely filling your menu every day. So a lot of the stuff that they do downstairs is quality. People talk about, seasoning and presentation.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of the African restaurants lack. Where we shine is presentation, is seasoning, and is definitely more of the customer service and the
Yeah,
inviting environment.
but Princess, you
So,
know the
yeah.
advantage you guys got?
Mm,
Like I said before, you got the art of storytelling, and
yeah.
you can pull in the roots of the food that you're selling, like jollof rice. Through that art of storytelling, they will know
Hmm.
that some of the food that you have there got American roots.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like the collard greens, the say, well, this is our variation, our Liberian variation. It
Hmm.
went through a lot of iteration from people
Yeah.
coming from the American South to Liberia. This is our version of collard greens. This is our version of, I don't know if you do cabbage. This is our version of jollof rice, which is
Yeah.
jambalaya.
Yeah.
Our version of gumbo, okay, okra, you know. So that's the advantage you guys have
Yeah.
because people like familiarity.
Hmm.
You
Very true.
understand? That's
Very
the
true.
advantage you got that the Nigerian, the Senegalese don't have.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Because
Yeah,
they're
because
in the South. Texas is in the South, right?
yeah,
Yes.
we have a group that comes about 300 members. They have 300 over 300 members, and they
Mhm.
do a lot of open mic and like poetry telling and different things, storytelling and stuff.
Mhm.
So we adapted them to our environment, and so we had to tell those stories so they can understand the food.
Yeah.
And even the way we season our chicken was different, and we had to tell all that story continuously when they were there. And that's why most of our customer is African American and
Right.
white people, because of that history. White people are curious. Black people want to fit in. They want
Yeah.
something to belong to. So we
Yeah.
cling on to that demographic, and we build on that. Because a
Yeah.
Liberian person know, most Liberian people know how to cook Liberian food. I'm not trying to cook Liberian food for a Liberian, because you know how to cook Liberian food. By you coming, I'm happy, but I want to reach other people that have never tried it, because that's who's gonna have a word of mouth and make it as popular as possible. And so
Right.
those are the two demographic that we have clinged to, the African American and of course the Caucasian crowd, because they're curious about fufu and soup. The African American are curious about everything. And so when those 300 client comes in every first and last Thursday in a month, they go and tell their friends that tell their friends and tell their friends. And so now they see us on TV, they feel entitled to us. You know what I mean? Oh, that's our people. And so now they're telling everybody. And so
Yeah.
that's how those things begin to happen. Because
Right.
if you say just catering to your people, you will lose money. I can guarantee it. Because everybody come in there and complain about the prices. I can I'm telling you now.
And that's gonna happen. That Liberian customers alone.
Yeah, yeah. And you know something, hearing you all talk about the history, Liberians are doing themselves a huge injustice on social media by not telling the history
Yeah.
of Liberia.
Yes.
We have a very unique history
With the,
that attracts the African American and the Caucasians.
yeah.
Yes.
So the more we tell our story, people become more interested
Yeah.
in what we have to offer.
Yes.
But unfortunately, a lot of Liberians are so clueless
Right.
and they're squandering such an opportunity.
Yeah. That's true.
So for that, again, I commend you all, as Joe usually say, you all really did your SWAT.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
and I see you all succeeding. I see you all expanding or enlarging your territory
Thank you.
beyond the Dallas area where you all are.
Thank
Mm-hmm.
you.
You are ahead of the pack. You've come with a unique brand,
Thank you.
done your due diligence.
Thank you.
Joe,
Get get those Americans to try split peas and gravy. That one you capture them right away.
All right.
There's no country in Africa provide that split peas and gravy. Only
Right.
Liberia.
Yes.
Right. Right.
yep.
Yeah, you know what I've
Mm.
learned? Even the cassava leaf, a lot of
Uh,
them say, "I don't eat cassava leaf in our country," and I'm just like, "Oh, didn't know that." And so for the longest time, I refused to put on the menu, and they kept asking for it. So when I introduced in the menu, that thing will sell fast within the day. And it's
yeah.
like I find myself cooking multiple pots of cassava leaf, and I'm just like, "What is happening?" So that became one of our biggest sellers. Canyons, and they don't eat cassava leaf, and most of them, when they even they prepare it in their culture, is the most, I don't even know how to even put it. It's hard
They
tasting
don't,
on
they,
the food, I can tell you that now.
they don't
And
know how
you
to
know
do it.
something,
It reminds
a lot of Caucasian and African American serve in various governmental duties in Liberia.
Right.
The
Yes.
Peace Corps. Remember the Peace Corps?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
a lot of them are familiar with our food.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
true.
We even had a lady. She had called us from. She was in Mexico, but she was
Wow.
calling us from Mexico because she had a Liberian daughter who she had adopted. And
Mm,
so the girl was living somewhere here in Dallas. So she had heard about us. So she was just calling us to make a reservation with us. She was going to pay for the meal, but she just wanted the girl and her father and somebody
Yeah, she
else
prepaid.
that were
Yeah.
coming out. She was going to prepay
Wow.
for their food just so they
Wow.
can come out to eat because they had not actually, gone out to see a Liberian restaurant since they being in
mhm.
America. And so she was calling, but she was living in Mexico
Bueno,
at the time. So
bueno.
she would just call her over the phone. She was going to pay. She was going to have them call, let us know what they wanted, and then she was going to just pay with us over the phone. So yeah, I mean, like I said, even though we had not been in business that long, like I said, we started in 2018, December 3rd. November 23rd, we did the official grand opening, and then on December 3rd, we actually opened the restaurant for people to start dining in. So we had just started, started the place, but people have started, a lot about us. Before COVID hit, by February of 2019, the place was already picking up. The nightlife. People used to love coming out at night to hang out and party and dance and stuff like that. Come during the day to eat, and then of course COVID came and kind of shut that
That's shut it
down.
down. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but like I said, but we
But,
still
but
we
I'm
did
sure the PPE took care of you, right? Is it the
well.
PPP or whatever they call it?
So we did apply for this thing, but because we had not been in business for a long time, there's a lot of process,
Yes.
paperwork that we still running behind to get those things going. So,
Wow.
but yeah, but
They discourage a lot
That
of
is
people.
so that is so wrong. My
Yeah.
bank was begging me to apply because
Yeah.
I
yeah,
got to open it too,
Yes.
yeah,
and I had
And
to
a lot
apply.
of people.
They give it to me in no time.
Yeah.
yeah.
And what I don't
It's
believe is I apply on Monday,
yeah.
then they send me an email on Wednesday to say check your account. The
Oh
money was there.
wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I live in Nevada. I live in Nevada, right outside of Las
Okay.
You
Vegas.
see,
Yeah,
Texas is not that. Texas
Oh
it
yeah,
has a
that's
lot of
right.
problem when it comes to these kind of things.
Yes.
yeah.
I hope you guys
It's
know
a
that.
Republican state, so
Yes.
Yeah,
they
So
kind
Yeah,
true.
of
even
Nevada is.
even with places like Michigan and stuff, they were helping businesses without the SBA.
Yeah.
The
Wow.
government put
Wow.
stuff in place to help them without SBA even stepping in yet. So, but with
That is
Texas,
still going on. You guys don't give up.
oh yeah, yeah.
and
It's still on.
Yes. Keep
Yes. As
trying.
a matter of fact, we spoke to a SBA representative the other day, and that's exactly what he told us as well. He was like,
It's still on.
"Don't give up." He said, "Whatever, when they ask you for paperwork, even if you sent it to them before, resubmit it." But he told us, "Do not give up. Don't stop."
don't
Yeah.
stop. He
No.
said,
So
don't
yeah.
No,
stop.
don't.
So yeah.
Don't.
Are
Don't.
you
You
going?
guys.
Are you going through your bank or are you going directly to the SBA?
No, we
With
give up on the PPP situation. We're doing the Texas disaster recovery, something to call it, but pretty
The
much it's
princess said you
focusing
gave up
on.
on the PPP.
Well, we're not giving up. We already
Because I
presented
still
all our
getting email
paperwork.
and they're asking me, say, well, we got this other thing we want you to apply for. I said, no, we
I've
don't
applied
have to
for
do that.
three things. I've applied for the restaurant revitalization fund. I've applied for the something
EBIL.
venue, something I forgot
Hmm.
what it's called. It's called shorter venue fund, and the PPP. The thing is
Did you
that
apply
it
for the
actually
EIDL?
yes,
Yes, we did too.
exactly.
Yeah.
I applied for that as well. And actually, there was one that was actually directed to those businesses that were specifically in low income areas that it were actually supposed to help. Presented all our paperwork, and that in itself is taking forever. I call almost every day to check on those things, and for some reason, there's always something that they want that they didn't get. They want your tax return. We presented every tax return that we ever had, including the business tax return, because all our stuff is done plainly on paperwork. Our paperwork is like stacked because everything was had to be done. I'm a veteran, so I'm a veteran owned business, and
Yeah,
so all
Yes.
those things
that's an
were
advantage right
completely
there.
presented.
Exactly
Yeah.
so.
But I'm not alone in this because I've talked to a lot of other restaurants. I know chefs that actually apply for this stuff and go, "What is happening?" Because I actually know a chef that's opening the third restaurant right now and still PPP
No,
loan.
no, that's not right. That's
No,
not
that isn't right at all. That isn't right.
Yeah.
And I hate to bring in racism, but sometimes that's the hidden agenda.
Yeah.
I mean, you all have proven yourselves.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, and sometimes it's the state of Texas because even when we was applying for our paperwork initially to even start the business, that was a major headache too. They gave us the
Wow.
run around. I remember one time we went to the place and there was this black lady in the basement because they
In the
wanted us to
records
do
department,
in
records
the records department. They wanted us to do a brand new blueprint of the space we were
of the
getting
entire business in my space.
even though there was already record that they already had, but they
That
wanted
is
us to
so
do a new
wrong.
one.
That
So
yeah.
is
the
Mhm.
so
lady,
wrong.
it was this black lady in the records department. She had to pull us aside and let us know that look, I understand what's going on. They usually try to give black people to run around, but she gave
See?
us a contact to a elder black man who had retired, and she said, "Yeah, you can go to
And he
him."
was an architect. Yeah,
And he was the architect. So he usually to get those blueprints done, it usually runs from anywhere from
thousand,
2,000 and up. But he got us in there, did it for us for like $500,
hundreds of dollars, like 200,
and
three
then we
hundred
would take
dollars.
it back to him, and he'd be like, "Okay, just give me a couple of $100, you know." But he was very, he worked with us, and he helped us a lot to get the original blueprint, so we can be able to pass the city
Yeah,
permit.
he had to redo the entire blueprint for the shopping center and our space, because our space is
Wow.
7,000 square foot. And so because we're acquiring that particular space, even when I talked to the SBA, they were like, how big is the
I'll
place?
be
I
right
said
back.
7,000 square foot. He goes, oh my God, that's a big restaurant. So they know what we're working with. And for some reason
Mm.
that becomes a deterrent or something, or a red
Yes,
flag. I don't know what it
exactly
is
so.
that make
Exactly
them pay
so.
attention, you know?
Yes, exactly so. Two young African American couples
Yeah.
trying to launch such a business was just unimaginable to them.
Well, you see, they're just backwards thinking. Because in Nevada, yeah, and I used to live in California too. If you setting up a business, the state will start throwing money at you, because you know why they do that. You set up your business. What you do? You employ people.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
People you employ, they pay taxes. That
Mm-hmm.
expands the state
Yeah.
tax base. You
I
pay
give my
taxes too.
give my
Your
charger.
business pay taxes. So that they will
Mm-hmm.
do all they can just to make sure that you're successful.
All right, I'm moving to Nevada. Monrovia Lounge is gonna go to Nevada.
There you go. You already have a contact in Nevada.
Eh, There's a lot of people moving here from California.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the whole thing is just patience. That's all it is. You have to
Yes.
Yeah.
be a patient person, because the reason why when it comes to paperwork, I don't get too discouraged because let me get frustrated is because even with my VA benefits, I have to run after it. And there's so much paperwork and it discourages you a lot. So
Wow.
I'm
Wow.
used to them giving me the runaround for anything. So I'm
Mm.
gonna
So
so if you're not
what are-
persistent, you're not gonna get it.
right? So where do you two see this business in the next 5 years?
Well, in the next 5 years, we're more involved with the community. We're more, like I said, I want to be able to get them more involved, because so far what we've done with our community, if you're seeing it, it was a drug infested area.
Mm.
We moved to that area and people literally would be sitting on the street selling drugs, and there was no cop in sight. People, like, we had New Year's Day, they were shooting, people were shooting each other. Like, you can see them shooting. I live in Carrollton, so I've never like seen something so bold. I'm like, am I in America or what's happening? So Femi will get frustrated because it will sit all on the stairs, and now the customer will be like, well, we don't want to come upstairs because there's people sitting all on the stairs and questionable characters. We don't want to even like say excuse me because we don't know that's going to happen.
Mm.
And so we got involved with the city, we got involved with the chiefs, and the even the police chief came down and talked to us. And we started, because Femi kept calling these people and yelling at them. I kept calling, and so they decided to. First of all, it was a 7-Eleven that they were mostly around, so they fenced off that 7-Eleven. They were gonna break it down if they didn't do something about it. So the 7-Eleven wised up. They close at a certain time, so then nobody can be there. All the lights are off and everything. Now we invite more patrol in the area. They don't
Okay.
play. There's people patrolling 24/7. We put more lights on the streets because there was like a certain area that was dark. We talked to them about lighting up the entire area, because why would you just keep the whole place in darkness when there's these dangerous criminals walking around? And so that was one of the things that we did, and it's a dramatic change in our particular community. Now hire the community so people can stop just standing around and not doing anything. I know you want fast money, but come work. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That will help you too. So we're providing, in a way, we're providing jobs for the community, and that's what we're pushing with people. We also want to have, like, when people, because people are going to school remotely now, we talked about getting some churches involved where we're providing backpacks and back to school stuff with the working with the black community here or low income community for people to get stuff during that time, back to school time. We want more people to start trying Liberian food, not just every nationality to know Liberian food. We want to be up there. When they name it Italian food, French food, and Mexican food, we want them to say Liberian food. We want each how you call it media people here to know who we are. We have the news now. We are about to acquire the newspaper because we're supposed to be in the Dallas Morning News soon. So
Okay.
all that, we want people to know Liberian food is not just for us, our face. That don't mean anything. What it means is that we're mentioned amongst the demographic here because they're not. We have refugees here. Then they talk about the Somalian refugees, the different refugees. They never mention the Liberian refugees. And so now everything just like and it's just Nigerian. When you say you're Liberian, say, oh, Nigerian. No, I said Liberian. So we want to be mentioned as well. Liberian food. I want you guys to see me on Top Chef cooking Liberian food. I don't want to be cooking anything else but Liberian food and telling them, say, hey, this Liberian food, try it. You know what I'm saying? That is the initial thing. I've hooked up with every chef within the state that I can, and we want to form a chef group that we can have at least a festival around the country and have people taste Liberian food in all the pastry, the everything that is Liberian related in the food. We want to do that. We want people to know our food too, because when you come and go eat Chinese food, Chinese takeout, this they have a Liberian takeout as well. That's the main goal here. In 5 years, people need to know that Liberian food exists, and it exists in a broad spectrum of the state, not just in a little kitchen somewhere else. You know what I mean?
So I see you got a pretty strong engagement with the community. So you do what you guys do what they call corporate social responsibility. I mean, you
Exactly.
were mentioning
Yeah.
backpacks for kids
Yeah.
and all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yes.
tell us a bit about it.
Yeah. Humanitarian outreach.
Yeah.
So the
That is
humanitarian
huge.
outreach about that was, I talked to this lady. She has a church in the Euless area, and we had a conversation prior to COVID hitting that we wanted to do back to school for the children, and she already did that on a regular basis. But then COVID happened, and children were going to school remotely. My child go to school on her computer all the time. Is hell getting them up to do that stuff, but that's what they do. They don't go to school physically. So they
Yeah.
don't need backpack or anything because the state provide all their supplies now. Now, when school open back up and everybody is done with remote, that's when it becomes harder for people to buy backpacks or anything like that. Each school have their own school supplies list. It's hard for parents to provide those kind of lists because not everybody can afford that, especially if you have 3, 4, 5 kids and everybody's asking for different supplies from different grade schools. So she wanted us to link up to Monrovia Lounge, have the kids come through, have like a brief history part of Liberian cuisine, at the same time parents, and still talk about, okay, we want to help your children, and here's the backpack, the school supplies, and blah blah blah, because each school has a different type of supply for each grade and each thing, and that's hard. And so that's what we wanted to do before COVID. So after COVID, we're getting back on the planning.
Okay.
And also one of the overall goals, of course, is to hopefully one day, soon, we hope, to be able to take Namarovia Lounge. We're probably thinking about Dallas Lounge or something to that
Dallas
effect,
Lounge,
but to take it to Liberia. So it
That
would
was
Monrovia.
that was
be
that was going to be my next question.
yeah,
We were talking about America, but what about
yeah,
the home front?
yes. So yeah, that's one of the goals, is to be able to take this concept back to Liberia as well. So where we have a restaurant lounge in Liberia, you know, if not the same concept what we serve in Liberian food, I think Princess was saying what she want to do
No,
is,
it's gonna be
if it's
Southern food, Southern cuisine, and somewhere like a rooftop area, somewhere in the
Mhm.
middle of the city or by the beach. So that's the look here, and I
Well,
have
you
a lot
all
of friends.
you you already have a future client sitting right here, and if you don't, I'll be highly upset with you all. But
Yeah,
first,
because we
I have
have
to come
friends
and
that do
visit you
real
all in
estate.
Dallas.
Yeah.
I have to
Yes,
come and visit you all in Dallas, okay?
yes,
Yes,
yes.
definitely.
Oh, and like I said, and as a matter of fact, we hosted what's the name, Mayor Collins,
Oh, you
the
did?
Liberian mayor in
Helena,
Montana.
Montana,
Montana.
Helena, Montana. We
Okay.
Uh-huh.
we hosted him here when he was trying running for his Senate bid. He came to Dallas. We had a fundraiser. His campaign manager, who was Caucasian,
Trent Bolger.
yeah, Trent
Wow.
came down. He's a white guy. He came to this day. He still called him. He
He
said he
wants
wanted
my
pepper
pepper
sauce.
sauce.
Wow.
It's funny.
Wow.
I just made pepper sauce for the other day. I went on YouTube. There's a young Liberian lady showing people how to make Liberian pepper sauce.
yeah,
I
yeah,
said, I can do this.
yeah,
And I do it. It's fine.
yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
am so impressed with the both of you. See, when you come on
Thank
the
you,
problem solver, it means that you are unique in what you're doing.
thank you, thank you.
And
All
it's to
right.
Thank
also get you to take that idea to the home front, not just here.
Yes, sir.
definitely.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes,
We are here to also promote the home front
yes,
Yes.
yes.
because there's this perception that Liberians are not business minded. All we
True.
want to
We're
do
very
talk
business
about
minded.
politics and complain about how things are bad.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
We want to change that kind of mindset on the problem solver. So
yes.
that is why we're very selective about who we are bringing on here.
Thank you.
Okay, and we have been focused on couples.
Okay.
You all are the third couples.
I
Thank you.
like that. I like that very much.
Okay,
Thank
There's
you.
because it
more.
is inspiring. It is
Yeah.
inspiring.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
And Princess seems to be an ideas person. Can you imagine if Princess was running the tourism sector in Liberia?
Oh
All these
wow,
ideas that would,
wow.
I mean,
Y'all be putting people in position all the time. I don't go.
you got like you got a country where you got 330 miles of
Yes,
beachfront
mm,
properties, right?
Yeah.
yes.
330
Hmm.
miles from Cape Palmas to Cape Town.
Yeah.
We got the largest virgin forest in West
Mm,
Africa.
Yes.
The
Hmm.
largest. I mean,
Yeah.
you guys, I'm sure you're flown over Liberia. Once in a
Mm.
while you fly, you look down, you get scared. So, but when the plane will get down, and all you see forest, forest,
Yes.
forest,
Yes.
Hmm.
forest, forest. But we
Yes.
still haven't figured out how to monetize it. And I say this
mm.
Mhm.
all the time at Notion, But if you have
Yeah.
somebody like, Femi and Princess, Princess seems to be an idea, what they call, she's into ideation, idea generation.
An
Let's,
idealist.
yeah, because she sees things what other people probably don't see.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know? And they got people like that. They just you looking at it straightforward, but they're looking at behind it on the side and say, no, no. Why you guys say no? But say no, no, no. You're all we can do.
Yeah.
And then you
We're
try
capable
to
of
put
flipping
a thing in.
Liberia. We're really capable of flipping Liberia to because Liberia is already beautiful. And so the thing is that when we have great leadership, this is not to down anybody that's in leadership right now. But the thing is that you
No,
have
we
to
don't
have
talk. We
strong.
don't talk politics here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. So the thing is that all we gotta do is that West Point area, just flip that area, turn it into just beachfront property hotels. Just put a bunch of hotels there,
There you
close
go.
that whole area, hotels and restaurant only, make it a strip. If you make it a strip, people come from that area, all they want to do is party and get, and buy food and just have fun all day. Make it that
Right,
particular place to make a number one spot for tourists and make a strip, like in Nevada over there. They have a
right,
strip. Make a complete
yeah,
strip in that from that West Point area. You will make a lot of money because that place is beautiful. But we're
right,
using it for, people are pooping on the beach and all that stuff. That's not even what we need our place
Yeah,
for. Our place can
yeah,
make money,
yeah,
and it don't have to just be an individual thing. It can be a group thing where, okay, we plan on making a strip in Liberia just for entertainment purposes to bring money into the economy, and that can be established. And that's what I was telling people. If I was to build a restaurant on the beach, anything around me is gonna have to be a business. It can't be somebody house down the street or somebody over there. It has to be another business, because what, I don't have a problem with sharing my area with another business, because what it is ultimately is to build the economy for Liberia.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Princess, you are a forward thinker slash visionary, because what you have just mentioned regarding
Mm-hmm.
West Point, that
Mm-hmm.
idea was brought to the forefront 40 years ago by the late President Talbot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but
Mm-hmm.
but there were a lot of detractors and haters and said, "Oh no, it can't work."
Yeah.
And so that's why West Point is the way it is today. But that's exactly what he wanted to do, turn it into a tourism resort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So
people say,
you
where you carry people at? That's
No,
what you look
okay.
at. Where you put the
So
people
so
at?
no, the president is actually building homes and apartments, right? Build a set a place aside, build a low income community, right? Because I was telling Femi the other day, build a bunch of low income communities, assign each unit, assign a social worker to that unit. You can teach people how to use a camo, how to use this, how to use
yeah.
set time frame period. Now, while you
Yeah.
focus on that, you go and break down all those buildings that they left over there, those zinc houses, and start building. In the meantime, focus on the community that you just built. Make sure that you're teaching the people how to take care of themselves, because a lot of people don't know how to use modernized things. So
Yeah.
we employ, that's still money for the economy, because you're employing people now. You're employing social workers. You're training people to take care of other people. And so now each family unit, like let's say there's 10 to a unit, we have one social worker. 10 other unit have one social worker. The social worker check on them on a monthly or a quarterly basis, and teach them how to use the camo, take care of the houses, not to cook in the copa, and just make sure you use the stoves and stuff. We start modernizing Liberia like it's supposed to. Not everybody got to cook outside. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
See,
saying? That's
Princess,
what,
No,
yeah.
Princess,
that's a
you're
point you're
speaking,
making
you're
because
speaking. Joe, she's speaking our language.
nobody she makes some good
That's
point because
these
let
are
me
the
tell you
things
this
that
story.
we. Yes.
There was a lady that came to California, right, from the refugee camp.
Mm-hmm.
Mayonnaise, right? She used to rub it on herself. She thought I was clean.
Oh,
Mayonnaise. Until one girl went there and saw what she was doing. She said, "But what are you doing?" She said, "Oh, but you know, this why I can rub up." And she said, "No, no, 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 no.
Wow.
Can you bread? You put it in the bread, you eat it." Yeah.
well, that is kind of innovative, because the ingredient to mayo can actually moisturize the face. So she has some kind of point there.
Friends, I don't do that. Don't encourage her. Yeah, that'll show her. I said, no, 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 no. See, I just
See,
came from a refugee
yeah,
camp
yeah,
in Ghana. They brought her to California.
wow, wow. And
Wow.
another
So what
thing we'll
Christoph was
focus
saying,
on.
it makes a lot of sense. The
It
education
does.
dimension to it. You got to educate
Yeah.
the people. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
like if you remove those people from West Point, like you said, some of them never used a commode before.
Mm-hmm.
The concept of a computer is alien to them. You know, so you got
Mm-hmm.
to have somebody there
Mm-hmm.
and educate them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And another thing we're trying to promote on the problem solver podcast forum is for us to refrain from the mindset of being an individualist.
Mm-hmm.
We need to work together
Mm-hmm.
collaboratively,
Yeah.
Yes.
just like the expatriate businesses are doing on the home front. They come
Mm-hmm.
together and they work
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
to get our money or our remittances from here and develop
Mm-hmm.
the businesses.
True.
Yeah.
Okay. So, in order for the kind of changes we're talking about to be effective, it will have to come from the private sector, because
Mm-hmm.
already we have seen that the public sector
Mm-hmm.
does not have what it
Yeah.
takes
True.
to solve
Mm-hmm.
these problems. And Joe
Mm-hmm.
and I, we look at those so-called problems or challenges as
Mm-hmm.
opportunities,
Yeah.
but we have to come together to make it happen. And
Right.
most of the from during the past, there have been a lot of us who have went home to try and make a difference, and in the
Mm-hmm.
process we got burned. And so because we got burned, we decided, "Oh, you know what, we aren't
Stay
going
away.
back."
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
recently we had the Fedricks on here, Lynette and his
His wife.
wife.
Yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
mean, we were so impressed to hear about what they're doing in spite of all of the odds
Mm-hmm.
on the home front
Yeah.
You guys,
against
you
us
guys
coming
with
from the
know
diaspora.
that?
You know,
Yes.
Oh yeah, he
Yes.
comes to the
Yeah.
restaurant. He
Yeah.
support
Lionel.
us very much.
We know that
Yeah.
very well.
Okay.
that's
Lionel,
good.
Lionel usually come by. Usually when he comes, he brings his Nigerian friends. They
Mm-hmm.
love the jollof rice, and we
Mm-hmm.
have a checker. So
There
he
you
loves
go.
the checker. So he always come there for the checker.
There
There's
you
a
go.
punch that we make, and it's
Oh
rum
yeah, yeah.
punch, and he
The
calls
rum
it he
punch.
punch.
Yeah,
That's what he comes for.
yeah.
Okay.
Very nice.
Good.
Very
Mm-hmm.
nice. So yes, so that's what we have to do. Work together as Liberians, put aside our differences because who's winning? The
Yeah.
foreigners are winning. We aren't.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
and that is one of the things I usually tell Liberians whenever they come to the restaurant. I tell them, I said, because I tell them, I say, okay, yes, it is me and Princess who is the face of this thing, but overall, this thing is a Liberian thing. Usually, when people come, they don't say, "Oh, we're going to Femi and Princess restaurant." They said they're going to the Liberian restaurant. The
Right.
key word here is Liberian.
Liberia.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I tell
Yes.
them all the time. I say, if y'all don't come and support this thing and this thing fail, yeah, they may say, oh, Femi and Princess failed, but the people who are not Liberians are going to say, oh, the Liberian restaurant failed. You understand what I'm saying? So they're not going to be pointing at Femi and Princess. They're going to say the Liberian restaurant.
Yeah.
So
Right.
that falls on you. So I tell them all the time. I said, look, the Nigerians. This is why Nigerians has been successful in this part of the world. Nigerians had this thing where once it's a Nigerian thing, Nigerians are going there to support it.
Right.
Whether they like it, whether they don't like it, they will go there and support it. The Nigerians who come to the restaurant to us, they will come and eat our jollof rice. They will come eat our echeke, eat our food, the spinach and all that. And when they finish eating, they spend the money on us. They will go downstairs to the Nigerian restaurant. They will
Yeah.
still go down to the Nigerian restaurant because that's their place. They still go there and support it. A lot of them can't tell us how they don't like the way the Nigerian restaurant, the way they cook the food. They say they don't like it. A lot of them come in and tell us, but they will still go there and support it because it bears the Nigerian name, and they understand that once that thing succeeds, even though they may not benefit from it personally, financially, they know that they would benefit from it. The fact that they are Nigerians, so
Yeah.
they would just be nationalistic about it. They're just going to support that thing because if a Nigerian thing succeeds, they feel like they're all part of that Nigerian thing.
Right.
Liberians haven't fully understood that concept yet.
No, they haven't
Well,
grabbed.
you guys are trailblazers,
Thank
and
you.
right now all eyes are on your success.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We are honestly fighting for it. Like I said, we didn't get into this thing because we wanted to be famous or nothing. Like I said, honestly, the reason why we started this thing was we really just wanted to push Liberian food, push Liberian culture. Yes, we wanted to get into business because we wanted to work for ourselves and all that. But overall, we wanted to push anything Liberian. Besides the restaurant, like I said, we do many things. As long as it involves Liberian name, we get behind it and we
We
support it.
support.
Mm-hmm.
We on our own dime and our own time, we brought Dr. Boris here to Dallas to do some historical. What he did a lecture on his between the Cola Forest and Salty Sea. We support artists, Liberian artists who come to Dallas. We support them when they come down. Bring some of them down, or if somebody else bringing them down, we make sure we get behind it and promote it to try to get people out to go and support Liberian artists too. Because most people know Nigerian artists. So when you're talking Liberian artists, they be like, "Oh, who's that?" "Oh, I'm not going because I don't know who it is." Be like, "Well, it's still African music. It's a Liberian artist. Y'all come and let's just go support him." So we just love to support Liberian things. Like I said, this was even before the restaurant. We were always we had Dench, we have Friday, a lot of Liberian artists who come to Dallas. If we knew somebody who were bringing them, we got involved to help promote it, or sometimes we put our money to it, join with other people to bring Liberian artists to Dallas as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's called
This
putting equity in your nationality. So
Yeah.
absolutely. There you
it's
go.
called putting equity within your nationality, because
Yeah.
you can't just dump your culture, your nationality, and pass around thinking say it will amount to something when you never supported it, when you never did anything for it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
All these businesses, the artists, the different things, is you have to build your own people up so that it becomes something that you can pull from later on. You know what I'm saying? If I go and say, "Oh, I'm a Liberian," and Liberia is up there, I'd be like, "Oh, wow, really? Oh, so y'all have this thing and that thing," and people know. So that's the equity that you build because you're putting so much quality product and quality work within that particular nationality. So I tell people all the time, put equity in Liberian anything, and you will see how much it flourishes. You can't always say Liberian people don't support people. That's not even how that works, because you have to give them something to support, something that is constant, something that has quality. Because I'm not just going to support anything because I said Liberian on it. Now let's get it straight. It has to be something that is structured. And so people have to understand, once I establish something, come there, support me. And honestly, we'll move on from that particular part and keep elevating ourselves,
Yeah. And just to interject on what Princess said, this notion that Liberians do not support Liberians, in all honesty, from my own experience, especially since we've been in business, that is not true. Most of the customers we have are Liberians. A majority of our customers are Liberians. Yes, we have other people who come in and
and
support
complain.
us, but majority of our people who come to support us are Liberians. So yes,
Yes,
Liberian people do support Liberian things, but like she said,
yeah,
it just have to be something of quality. You just can't give
yeah,
people anything and expect
yeah,
them to support it. I think what has
exactly.
happened with a lot of Liberian things is a lot of Liberians have drawn away from supporting Liberian things because when they go to support these things are not
Organized.
quality. They are not, people are not professional with them, and so a lot of people kind of tend to withdraw from support Liberian things. So you have to be professional. You have to be give people quality things so that when they come, they are proud of it. We actually have people who are walking to Monrovia Lounge and cry. This lady actually walked into Monrovia Lounge and she cried because
Wow.
she was so proud that it was a Liberian restaurant that was, that big, and the way the place was beautiful. She loved it. And the lady came out, she was crying. She was so proud that there was a Liberian place she could go and sit and eat in Dallas,
Yeah.
because for
Wow.
all the time she had been here, it had always been Nigerian places that she had to go to go eat when she wanted to eat African food out.
And
See?
the people always had this saying that Liberians not interested in business. All we know that politics.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So once in a while, but uh, that said, the richest immigrant in the United States, right? The richest African immigrant. He's from Liberia.
Wow.
He's from Liberia.
You
Yeah.
talking about Rich Lou Dennis?
Yes,
That's
Yeah.
right.
he's
That's
Okay.
the
right. But
richest.
yes, he keeps
All
a
the
low
Nigerian people,
profile.
no one got money close to him.
Yeah.
Yes, he keeps a low
There's
profile.
another a young lady who came from the refugee camp in New Jersey. She's worth
Yeah.
about $250 million. I think she got a string of IHOP restaurants.
Yeah. Yeah. We
She
heard
went
that.
she
There's
went
also
into
one that
real
does
estate.
real estate as well. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and she
she's
went
the
into
same
real
one.
estate.
She's the one princess. She does both.
Uh oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
wow. Okay.
Yeah, she
Bravo to
does
her.
both. Yeah.
that girl, anything the governor about to do, he call her. That's one of
Wow.
she one of the top business people.
Yeah.
That's good.
So that lays to rest the fact that all Liberians all
Right.
they want to do all day politics.
Right.
You got Liberians that
Important.
actually
Oh yeah.
making ways
Oh
in
yeah.
the
A
business
lot of Liberians.
as
A
well.
lot of Liberians. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of
You know,
them.
yeah,
But
one
those
one of
people
one
are
of the
usually
first.
quiet. You don't
Yeah.
hear
They
them
are.
coming off. Is a
They are.
loud off politician
Yeah.
you hear out there.
Yeah.
The
Yes.
Yeah.
people that I was looking at the data from the Overseas Private Investment Corporation one time, and I was shocked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
OPIC is an American organization designed to create entrepreneurs uh, in developing countries, right?
Yeah.
So recently they gave a Liberian guy $20 million. But I was looking at how many Liberians business people, entrepreneurs that they have backed, and I
Right.
was surprised. And those people right in Monrovia, but you don't hear, as we say, you don't hear friend from them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not into politics and all that. They're building
Right.
businesses and stuff
Right.
like
Mhm.
that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. As the saying goes, money talks.
Yeah, there
You
you
know the
go.
rest.
Right.
and
Okay.
all that
Well,
jazz.
Femi and Prince, I got some parting thoughts because I see we've had you over an hour.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, I
But
mean,
Joe,
thank you guys
quickly,
very much.
Femi,
Yes,
quickly.
yes.
Before we part ways, where is the graduate? Is she anywhere nearby?
No, she actually upstairs in the room watching
Come
TV.
here. Come say
Okay.
hi.
Well,
Say
yeah, she
hi.
with her mom. There
Come
you
say hi.
go. Yeah, yes, she is.
Say hi.
Okay.
Come here. Say hi.
Hi.
There she
Hi,
is.
graduate.
Hi, sweetie. Congratulations. All right.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Welcome. And Big Princess. Big Princess. I see why she is so feisty.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
She's she's emulating her mom.
Well, they,
Uh,
they got
it
they do call them feisty. They say somebody who's confident.
Yeah.
confident.
Oh,
There
Well,
you
okay.
go.
that's the
Yeah.
way she tells
Self
herself.
That's
assuring.
what we call them when they're over
Yes.
there talking crazy to their
Yes.
parents.
Princess speaks with confidence. And
Yes.
that's one of the
Yes.
trait of an entrepreneur. You have to speak with confidence.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, she has
Princess.
another older sibling. You know, we have a
Uh-huh.
22-year-old, two 19-year-olds, one
You do.
17,
Wow.
and
You all
her.
don't look it. You all don't look
Okay.
it.
So you got a full house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. And good genes too.
I know. I was
that, that's all the Liberian food.
All the princesses cooking, huh?
Oh, they want me to cook every day. I told her, I said, when I'm home, I'm not about to do all that.
Blame you. Now we are not supposed to talk politics on the problem solver, but from the way you have been expressing yourself, Princess, do you
Uh-huh.
intend to run for office someday? And if
No.
you do, I would love to be your campaign manager.
Those people don't like me. You're not supposed to tell the truth. And so whenever I comment on anything that Femi says, I get blocked.
They can handle
Or they will
you.
call him. I'm not kidding. They will call him on the phone, right? Next thing I know, he answer the phone. My man, your homo, and they will go off, and then she'll be like, "Yeah, man, I said, don't apologize for me." Oh.
Give them hell.
I know.
It has been it has truly been a pleasure having you all on. And as I
Thank
said, I
you.
told you we'll just bring people on here who are unique
Thank you.
and are mover and shakers or trendsetters ready to make things happen.
Thank
We
you.
And
appreciate
so
that
far
so
we have
much.
been successful, Joe. We had the Master Quiet, we had the Factories, and now the Williamses.
Thank you. Thank you.
We
Exactly. Yeah.
appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. It is our pleasure.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you guys very much for having us. We appreciate it.
Yes.
This process we have had our downside as well. Like I said,
Yeah.
COVID came, hit us upside the head, and then of course the Texas storm kind of took us out. But like I said, when we started this thing, it wasn't for the short term; it was for the long term. So we kind of pushed through. We finally got the place up, ready to run again. We're doing a re-grand opening on the 29th.
Of
We are
May.
expect of May. Yeah, we are expecting a large group of people to come out. DJ Wada is going to be coming down from Michigan. He's offering his time to come
Yay.
down and DJ for us. So we're expecting a lot of people to come out. The whole while we've been closed since the storm in February. People always sending us messages, calling. When are you guys getting back? We miss the food. We miss the atmosphere. So people are anxious to get back to Monrovia Lounge. So we
Yay.
are, we
Yes.
are
Hello.
excited. And
I'm back.
like I said, the goal here is like I said, for us to promote Liberian things. We're proud Liberians. Overall, we're proud Africans. So just the fact that we have a Liberian thing going, African thing going, is very very rewarding for us.
Right.
We're very very proud of that ourselves. Um, a lot of people love Princess food. Like I said, many people come there just for the food. Other people come there for the entertainment to come hang out and chill and just talk to us and stuff like that. So, anybody listen to this, make sure you come out. If you're in Dallas on the 29th, come out. We're gonna be serving food, and of course, we're gonna serve at 3 a.m. So
What's the
restaurant,
address again?
huh?
What's the
The
address?
address is 9220 Skillman Street. That's in Suite 227, and that's in North Dallas.
And
Dallas,
what's the web address?
Well, it's MonroviaLounge.com.
MonroviaLounge.com.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
okay.
you can also find us
MonroviaLounge.com.
on we also on Facebook,
Yeah.
we on
And
Twitter, we on Instagram.
yes.
So on all the social media sites, you can find Monrovia Lounge. Usually once you send a message,
The
somebody
kids
will
are running the
respond.
Snapchat, so we don't know what that one is.
Yeah, yeah. But usually we try to get if you do us on Facebook,
We have a Snapchat,
yes,
but we don't know how to get on it. We don't own
Okay.
Snapchat.
yeah, yeah. So but yeah,
So you're on Instagram, right?
yes, we're
Yes,
on
we're on
Instagram. Yes.
Instagram.
Okay.
We're on everything, including Snapchat, like I said, but I don't know how to get on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
Snapchat for
usually
the teenagers.
we have the kids running the Snapchat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of our older
Yeah.
son is running the Snapchat.
Oh,
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I said, come out, come, have fun with us. A lot of people have been, reaching out, wanting to come out, wanting to order food and, come hang out. So we'll be back on the 29th going forward.
Okay.
We apologize for the inconvenience. It was beyond us, it was beyond our control. That's nature. Nature took control at that time.
Right.
But
Exactly.
everything happened for a reason. It's been a blessing. Though it was a curse, but it's been a blessing as well.
wonderful.
So
Over
thank
that
you guys
time,
so much for having us. Okay.
over that
Okay.
time, we have learned,
Yes,
some
boy.
new things and new ways to kind of structure the business and all that.
Okay.
And having said that, I applaud and commend you all for surviving COVID.
Thank
It
you.
speaks
Thank you.
volume that you're still here, still standing and ready
Thank
to move forward.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So y'all
Thank
keep doing what you're doing and don't change.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for having us.
You're
Y'all take care
welcome.
now. And
All right.
we'll be keeping in touch.
Wish you all continued
Yes, sir.
success
Thanks.
now, okay?
Thank
Thank you very much.
You're
Okay.
welcome. Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank
All
you.
right.